Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, finally back with my chart haul for like January 2K20. Still weird that like 2020 is a thing right now, and I've been on this like on YouTube for 5 years now, and I've been on electronic music and all that stuff like job-wise for more than 20 years now, and this is like, I don't know, 2020 was like very far away when I like finished school and stuff, and I thought like, I had the first idea of making music my journey in life and stuff, and now 23 years ahead of that is like longer than I've been like alive before I started to make this plan to like go into the music direction and stuff. And yeah, kind of weird. Contemplated about this like a bit within the past days, so just a side note, but I'm back with like 10 vinyl records for you to show, to see the stuff I enjoyed most within the past days. And we're starting with a 10-inch once again, and my beautiful handwriting on there. Thymotica, Galaxies of Dust, remixed by Schlachthofbronx. It's a 10-inch bass music, a combination or like a conjunctional release of like Raven Romance, which is the label run by Schlachthofbronx, and Rough House Munich, which is like a Munich-based dubstep and bass music label. Thymotica is an artist I wasn't aware of, kind of. Musically more like minimalistic, kind of future garage stuff. On the flip side, the Schlachthofbronx remix is more like heavy dub, like real dub, and with an electronic twist. And Schlachthofbronx, of course, are like Munich-based warriors of bass music. We haven't met for some reason, but we have been writing on Instagram back and forth, so we'll meet up at some point, I guess. And I really like the minimalist like typography on there as well, so, and the graphic design, so good stuff. Thymotica, Galaxies of Dust, remixed by Schlachthofbronx on 10-inch. Next one you've seen already, Congrosian, Colorless Green Ideas, Sleep Furiously, a collaboration release between Out Records, and the other label is like Ultrarino Raw. I cannot for some reason like remember that name ever. Beautiful red white vinyl. I will show you this just in short because you have seen this, and well, you can see that unboxing video, which I will link in like the end card of this one. An interesting idea because when I got this, I didn't read like properly through the like release info and stuff. But what is happening here is like Berlin's Out Records label, which is like led by David Lorenzon. David Lorenzon, I guess. I'm like AFK kind of with my brain right now, so. But Out Records is like celebrating their 50th release with this one, because usually they do like only CDs and stuff. Davide Lorenzon is the name, by the way. And they have like 3 tracks on the A side, 4 tracks on the A side, which are more like experimental jazz kind of stuff, improv kind of stuff, like the label does usually. And on the flip side, they have like 3 artists like remixing that kind of stuff in a more electronic way. So we have like one track is more like kind of techno-ish with like a lot of like droney stuff and like jazz elements. One track which surprises me was the one by Thomas Brinkmann, which is known as a techno producer but goes on full-on noise, kind of like mixed up with jazz, and limited to 200 copies. Interesting stuff. Therefore, in my charts, watch the unboxing video for sure and read the review on the website. The next one comes as a little surprise for me because I didn't expect this to be re-released, but the DJ producer versus bong-ra on the Prospect Extreme label. The Abominable Bloodclad Techno are the tracks on here. And Prospect Recordings, the mother label, is from the Netherlands, drum and bass label, mostly known for like hard drum and bass in the beginning. And like also what it was called Crossbreed, which is like a mixture of drum and bass and hardcore. Then they spread out and had like the label Prospect Revolt, which is like more like dark jungle, old school jungle influence stuff. And Prospect Extreme is, of course, like the real stuff, hardcore, breakcore, in your face, no mercy, and the bong-ra, the DJ producer and bong-ra are both like icons in the field of like, my DJ producer more for hardcore, bong-ra is like a classic breakcore dark drum and bass dark jungle producer who also released on that Jacks Up sub label they had short-lived in the 90s for like dark drum and bass stuff, and together they deliver hard, brutal stuff. This one originally was released, I guess in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, and now it's repressed. One track is more hardcore-ish, one track is more breakcore, in your face, brutal stuff for sure, and I love the kind of symbolistic graphic design on this as well. Comes with a download code and just not in a proper like cover, but in this like see-through insert plastic thing, which is like interesting, but those tend to split somewhere here after a while, so I will have to get this in another like protective plastic foil thing. Next one, beautiful artwork on this one as well. Low End Activist, the Low End Activism 12-inch on Sneaker Social Club, a label I love a lot recently. Beautiful typography with that greenish high contrast thing, and this is Sneaker Social Club on the more experimental side for sure. Consider dub as a main reference point, not dubstep but real dub, and mix this up with like noise and ambient and like very free-floating sound system structures, and yeah, not that dance floor friendly necessarily, but more on an experimental kind of tip, and yeah, really great stuff. Hard to play on the dance floor if at all, so I will have to put this in a mixtape kind of, and I will have to figure out how to do this as well, but well, I'm planning to do like a private dubstep mixtape from just for me. And best artwork this month for sure, Low End Activist, Low End Activism EP on Sneaker Social Club, a label that I highly recommend these days because they do everything from like future garage, speed garage, to jungle, to like weird breakbeat stuff, and also have this white label series which I've shown one release of, I guess in my chart haul of November maybe. Pretty good, check them out. The next one is, to be a classic, Breaking Records, DMX Crew, Computer Heart. Yeah, this is my handwriting once again, and well, DMX Crew at DMX is a legend in terms of like positive electro and everything related electro techno, and this is living up to what he does usually, like good vibes, dance floor friendly, and yeah, if you like to electro, and also if you like kind of Italo disco maybe, and this kind of electro clash that was popular on DJ Hell's label International Gigolo Recordings, International DJ Gigolo Recordings, like in the early 2000s with like people like Tiger, Sunglasses at Night, and Tiger and Centurious, Sunglasses at Night, or Miss Kitten 1982, and Frank Sinatra and all that kind of stuff. This might definitely speak volumes for you. So DMX Crew, always a producer I will like check out when he has like a new record out, and Breaking Records is his own label, so this is gonna be good. Next one on the Dubstyle Records label, Von D featuring Blackout Jar, the Dancehall Saga, 12-inch. Dubstyle, also an interesting label, I guess from the States, I guess from New York. They do a lot of interesting things in the gray area between like dubstep, dub, reggae, dancehall, and drum and bass kind of, and this is somewhat in between as well. Very bouncy tune, reminds me of the like mid 90s to late 90s when we had like a lot of like hip hop with dancehall mixtures and stuff, and this one is also like one side instrumental, one side with like very like captivating, interesting vocals, and a good dance floor banger, I guess. Don't know when I will play this out in terms of this kind of music, because I left actually the Mojo Club, the Mojo Jazz Cafe DJ crew for some reason, and yeah, I decided this after like a bit of consideration. So I have right now no place to play this kind of music, but I will find some, I guess, in the future somewhere, and Dubstyle, definitely a label to check out. Sound system culture at its best The next one is like a big hefty package. Triple LP on Function Records. Interesting stuff. Shadows is the name of the compilation. Function Records is like one of the like long-running drum and bass labels. And look at this for a lineup. There is like all the big names on here. DJ Trace of No U-Turn fame, Caliber and Jet Li, Kia Digital, Killjoy, which I also like, Seba, like a icon in terms of minimal drum and bass, Drum Sound and Bassline Smith, and all those guys. And supposedly, here's just one record for a reference for the label and stuff. Supposedly, this massive pack is limited to 200 copies only, which is, well, a pity for a like high quality drum and bass LP that they are not able to sell more. And if you like drum and bass in the classic way and not like this kind of new Eurofunk pop drum and bass thing, it will be everything for you, like minimal uplifting, dark, stripped down, like DJ Trace Spirits is one of my favorite tracks because it still has that old No U-Turn spirit, that super dark stuff. Digital Deadline, Need for Mirrors remix. Need for Mirrors also like a staple in the drum and bass scene. Definitely good stuff. And a triple vinyl LP, quite expensive, but yeah, one you might need for your collection if you are like a drum and bass fan and do not buy that much drum and bass anymore. And also like the E2 Digital in Spirit versus Flavor and Dissect Primal, the Resound remix, which is a thing I don't understand. So it took like two pair of artists working together, so it's 4 artists for the main track, plus there is a remix of this. How this comes together, I don't know, but this seems to be a thing these days, where in the drum and bass scene, where you have artist X meets artist Y, and they're collaborating with artist Z, who is collaborating with artist A, and they have been remixed by those 2 artists, and this is like a whole mess, and I don't know who's able to memorize all this, because in drum and bass it was important to know which kind of track is made by whom and stuff. And like when you went back in the days, it was like Goldie, Inner City Live, bang. It was like Leviticus, The Burial, bang. You got all this information, and now you got this guy and that guy meets another guy, meets this guy, is remixed by that guy, who has been remixed by this guy, and bang. I don't know how this is coming together, but anyway. Next one, German release actually. Terrorrhythmus Hybrid Rave, interesting label, the Falling Apart label from Berlin. Interesting sound here as well. So imagine like ghetto bass meets juke meets hardcore meets tribal techno meets dirty stuff. So could be a start for a new genre, maybe ghetto core or something like that. Ghetto hardcore. So if you like that DJ Assault Ass and Titty stuff and like all the Dance Mania stuff and can imagine that kind of music on like 160 to 170 BPM and like with in your face hardcore bass drums, this might be something for you. And the well, the face definitely speaks volumes as well, and that guy is called Terrorrhythmus, which is terror rhythm in German, so hybrid rave on the Falling Apart label. Interesting stuff. And even more interesting is this one. Fierce Ruling Diva on Temple Tracks. I was well excited when I heard about this, because Temple Tracks is run by Khan of Finland, formerly known as Khan, brother of German Unit. German Unit is a part of Liquid and Berlin connections and stuff. And the Temple Tracks label is kind of the successor of the former Temple Records label, which was like a New York-based label, which Khan used to run with Walker back in the days when they went to New York in the 90s. So, and Fierce Ruling Diva, Dutch duo, legendary techno producers, techno rave producers, and they had this one legendary label which escapes me right now, Lower East Side or something like that, and we're playing Mayday at all the big raves, and this is like an updated version of their sound, their first proper release in more than 10 years, and banging techno for sure, and but with like old school rave elements, and also for the B2 track, Woman Like Man, with a little bit of like Chicago ghetto house influence. I heard only this track and ordered the 12-inch for that directly, because it was like, bang, this is the kind of techno I want to listen to right now. And good stuff. Distributed via Meta Banana Air Force, which is a small distributor, so might be hard to get. And the final one is a thing I discovered through a mix on SoundCloud, and I was hesitant at first because I was like, okay, I've known this kind of stuff, but then I was like, okay, I have this in my head all the time. And so this is Elliot Adamson, Electric Acid Tater Tots, and on the Trick label, Trick 03. Great artwork. Here's the full track list, and Electric Acid Tater Tots, I don't have any idea what this is about to mean, but this is, if you remember, a style called wild pitch in the 90s, which was a certain kind of house music, very stripped down with a lot of wild filter stuff. This is exactly this. Forget about the tracks on the B side, basically. But the A side with Electric Acid Tater Tots is great stuff, especially the remix by Scream, which is very interesting because Scream used to be like one of the main not drum and bass, dubstep producers in the early days. Had this mega hit like Midnight Request Line, which was played by everyone from every like dubstep DJ to Mala to Ricardo Villalobos to everyone. And this was a track which put dubstep on the map basically for the world. And now that guy went into a direction that I would describe as techno, tech house, but quality basically. I haven't heard a track of his since like, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years maybe, so haven't been following him, but this one is definitely massive and the best remix on this one. And it's like tech house, wild pitch stuff with like a vocal that is like very like out there and tripped out, spaced out, obviously like drug induced, but good stuff, fun stuff. And I played this when I played last time in this kind of style, like tech house, techno tech house. I played this twice, which I usually don't do on a or in a set. So this is high quality stuff, and I love this track to bits. So this is my chart haul for like January 2K20, and I hope you enjoyed. And all the stuff is down there in the description box and stuff. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See you later.